The American Rescue Plan, Jake and Senator, was designed to help states, local government get through the COVID-19 pandemic. Yet here we are, we're seeing it used in different ways. In some places, the money's just sitting there not being utilized 4 years after the pandemic essentially started. I mean, what do you think of this story? Utilized in this way for people that aren't even U.S. citizens.
Yeah, so thanks for having me on, Steve. Absolutely. So the Department of Treasury, right, so this is a federal program, as you said. It's ARPA is kind of commonly what it's referred to, but then there's kind of subparts of the program. This is specifically, it's the SLFRF, but basically it's the subpart of ARPA specifically set aside for local units of government. And Treasury has been very clear, right? So they issue these guidance documents or rules relating to the guidance documents as to how this should be interpreted. And they've been very clear, right? So early on, it was somewhat limited, but they were pointing to things like broadband expansion, back pay for essential workers, water infrastructure. So there was clear guidance that when this first came out, look, we're in this pandemic, that there could be an impact on tax revenue to local units of government. So let's help them. Now, we can have the whole discussion as to whether or not it was the right thing to do from a fiscal standpoint with our national debt, inflation, pouring trillions of dollars into that. But that's, I think, a separate discussion. But once those monies were allocated, I think most people agreed, okay, if we want to look at, for example, rural communities that where kids are going to school virtually, where you have businesses working virtually, and they don't have broadband access, that's a problem, right? So that's where there was some wisdom here, right? Let's help local communities actually expand broadband. That's not what we have here 5 years later.
That's the what's happening. Senator, what's the why this is happening? Why are they doing this? Why are they using, what is in Madison, the total something like $700,000, or is it more than that?
What we know of to date is $700,000. We hope with the open records request that we have that, we'll get more detail.